Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the fourth and the final unit of the course, really. We've gotten right down to the very end of it, and what I want to do in this video is just give you an overview of what you're looking at for this unit, which is pretty straightforward, and then to just explain a little bit about what's going to happen in the new year, specifically with the exam, or actually the lack thereof. So, last week we wrapped up the fiction unit, and or at least we were supposed to wrap up the fiction unit and move into the non-fiction unit. So 2 lessons got posted at the end of last week, and my thoughts were if you could finish one of those 2 lessons, that would be great. And if you finish both, then you're ahead of the game. So if you remember back to the very beginning of this year, the structure of the unit was 3 lessons per week. And those lessons were sort of like, there was content, then assignment, content, and assignment. Since then, what I've gotten is a lot of good feedback about the idea of having all the assignments on the same page, just so that it's easy to refer to and easy to keep track of. So this unit is going to follow that model, but it's also going to be a lot more like the first unit in terms of like there's more lessons than before. So with both like the poetry unit, I had all the lesson content on one page. With the fiction unit, which was a big unit, I divided things up into just 5 lessons. But there was a lot in each of those lesson documents. This time around, the lessons are going to be much shorter, and the activity required of you is going to be much smaller, because we're looking at a variety of things this time, which are like small in nature. So basically, you've got 7 lessons altogether. Off the top of my head, I hope I'm going to get these. I know we start off with journalism, and then we get into critiques and reviews. Travel writing is in there, technical writing, the speech writing, business communication, and then finally satire is one that I'm still working on that lesson. It wasn't part of the course originally, but we did satire way back in the first unit, and to me it's one of the most fun like genres of creative nonfiction. So I want to put something together for that. And so you'll have 3 lessons, the equivalent of 3 lessons this week and 3 lessons next week. But what I've done is I posted, with the exception of that one lesson on satire, I posted everything all at once. And the reason why I did that was because I know that this is the time of year where there's a lot going on. I know that there's going to be Christmas assemblies or holiday assemblies at your school probably. So you're going to look at shortened days, or maybe you're going to be part of that. At our school, we have a Christmas assembly, and we also have a coffee house right before that. So there's a lot going on. And then you've also got your other courses, trying to get in a summative maybe in the last couple of weeks before the break and all that. So I know, basically what I'm getting at is I know you're really busy. So what I decided to do was post it all at once, and then it's sort of flexible for you. So for those of you who got 1 or 2 lessons done at the end of last week, now you're at in a space where you can kind of like set your own pace and to plan accordingly. So if you don't have a whole lot on the go, there would be nothing stopping you from getting through the entire like 2 weeks in 1 week, because like I said, the lessons are short, much shorter than the fiction unit lessons. There's a lot less content there. And it's mostly instruction, like, here's how you write a news report. Here's how you write a technical document. Here's how you write an email, that sort of thing. So it's very like how to. And a lot of this stuff you'll already know already, or you'll have a sense of it already. Like we've already covered email communication. If you've got any background in design at all, you'll have a sense of what technical writing should look like, and so on. So there's nothing stopping you from like whipping through 2 weeks in one. Alternatively, let's say you've got a bunch of summatives coming up this week. There's nothing stopping you from like holding off on your e-learning this week and then covering it all next week. You also have the break coming up. Now, I don't want to encourage you to do nothing for the next 2 weeks and then have a bunch of stuff to do over your break, because it is your holiday and you shouldn't be working on it. But what I am saying is, because at least one person emailed me today saying that they're still trying to finish up the fiction unit because they were putting their heart and soul into that query letter assignment, and they're behind on the nonfiction unit, and they have a bunch of stuff coming up in their other courses. So You know, like I said, I want to make things flexible for you. I'm in, you know, not a huge hurry to get, you know, the work in. If it takes, you know, a few days of your holiday to get it in, that's fine with me. For those of you who are behind the course, this is going to be your opportunity to get caught up to. I am willing to take in fiction unit stuff during the holiday as well, so anybody who's really far behind, it's an option for you. The way I look at it is, you know, you've worked hard enough to make it this far in the course, and, you know, it's a university prep course, so in my mind, it doesn't make any sense to be aiming for anything less than 75. And to earn that 75, if you need more time to do your work, that, you know, that time is going to be there for you. All right. So where are we going to go from here? So let's say you get all of your nonfiction stuff done over the course the next 2 weeks. Then you have a nice restful 2-week holiday, and then we come back in the new year. So there's going to be no final exam for this course. There's going to be a culminating activity instead, and it's going to run for the final 2 weeks. So there's going to be 3 weeks pretty much when you come back from the holidays. And the first week is going to be kind of like a layover and transition from the nonfiction unit into the culminating activity, which I haven't like formally designed yet, but I do know what I want it to look like. Basically, it's going to be your best work from the course. So the idea being that you know, you've created a variety of drafts, some of them rough drafts, some of them kind of final drafts, but then again, if you haven't put something through at least 2 drafts, it's probably not really final. I'm going to create some sort of mechanism where you're going to pick and choose your best pieces and a variety of those pieces, and you're going to polish those up and you're going to submit them for final evaluation. All right, so those writers' workshops that I had you choose during the fiction unit, it wasn't to use them in the fiction unit, it was to use them like in preparation for the culminating activity. So over the course of this course, you should hopefully have gotten a sense, you know, by working with different people of, you know, who's going to be the most help to you. And I know there was, you know, a group who they found each other and they locked in their group. They wanted to work together again because they worked very well together in the poetry unit, and other groups have formed. I think most people have joined a group at this point, but there are some stragglers. So the idea is going to be this: you're going to have a week worth of time where I'm going to be like as part of the nonfiction unit. Part of nonfiction is, you know, the editing and revising step of anything is, you know, it's applicable to nonfiction. So you're going to be, you know, graded to some extent on the amount of help that you give other people with revising and editing their work. But more importantly, that's going to be an opportunity for you to, you know, start picking what items are going to be in your portfolio that you're going to have for your culminating activity, and to get feedback on those, and to you know, to run them through that production cycle of, you know, revise, edit, and polish. All right. So coming back from the break, there'll be like a week worth of that where it's going to be intensive. Like every day, I'm going to expect you to be posting one piece of your work and then carefully like going through somebody else's piece of work. So over the course of 5 days, you should hopefully go over you know, 5 different pieces of writing for, you know, for each of the people who are in your group. So in a group of 3, that's my ideal. If you had a group of 3 and I went over, you know, 1 piece of John's writing and 1 piece of Jane's writing over the course of 75 minutes, I would say that would be, you know, good effort for the day. There's one group that's like 5 people, but I mean, you know, if you, I think what I'll probably do is I'll specify you should proofread and revise 2 people's piece of work, or 2 pieces of work over the course of that time. So, but anyways, the submissions for this unit can then get uploaded to the writer's workshop and then get feedback and improved and everything so that they get added to your portfolio, and that's how you're going to get your final assessment for the course. All right. So to summarize, you've got 2 weeks worth of work right now. We had half a week last week, but you got 2 weeks worth of work ahead of you. Hopefully you get it all done. If you don't get things done, if there's anything that's not done, you can finish it up over the holiday. Then you come back from the holiday, and then we're working on just proofreading, revising, editing, and polishing in preparation for the final culminating activity, and then 2 weeks worth of putting that culminating activity together, that portfolio one piece at a time. So pretty much I'll make a Dropbox for you, and I'll be expecting you to be posting items into that Dropbox as they finish, so that I can get them graded and you get a sense of how you're doing. I'm still trying to figure out what my mechanism is going to be, so you can kind of see like how you are doing in real time. I think something similar to what I've got for the grade book that you've been accessing since early October, but I'll figure that out, I'm sure, over the course of the break. Anyways, that's taken us to almost 11 minutes, so I think that's all I really have to say now. So I'll just let you get to work, and as always, if you have any questions or need any help, please get in touch with me. All semester that's been my message, and some of you have been really good at getting in touch with me, and by all means continue to do so, and I'll be happy to help you out.